What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm back in a video. This time once again, we're talking about LeBron James, and this time we're going to look at a specific version of him, that being Game 6 LeBron. And throughout his career, most NBA fans know he is fantastic in Game 6s, so with that being the case, I want to investigate just how good is Game 6 LeBron James. Is he better than regular LeBron? And is he possibly the best player of all time given the overall circumstances? So without wasting more time, let's get in the video and look at how dominant LeBron James is in Game 6s.
Let's go!
So first up, as you guys know, LeBron has been in the NBA for 18 seasons, going on 19. Throughout his career, he's been in many playoff battles and played over 250 playoff games. Now when it comes to Game 6s, he's played 22 of those in his career so far. In those games, he averages 29.3 points per game, 10.2 boards, 7.9 assists, on 47, 33, and 72 splits. And his teams in those games have a 14-8 record. And when you compare those stats to LeBron's overall playoff resume, Game 6 LeBron averages more points, more boards, as well as more assists, with very similar shooting splits. Now for the sake of this video, let's pretend Game 6 LeBron James is his own individual player. So with those stats, let's see how great he is in NBA history. If you look at the all-time great playoff runs, a player to average 29, 10, and 7, like Game 6 LeBron, there's only been two players ever to do that. That being LeBron in 2015 and Oscar Robertson in the 1960s. So from an all-around offensive perspective, Game 6 LeBron is on par with a prime Oscar Robertson, who's putting up triple-doubles virtually every night. Now, one more thing about Game 6 LeBron that really impressed me is his performance in the NBA Finals. And in total, he's played 5 Game 6s in the NBA Finals. In those games, he averaged 30.8 points per game, 12.0 boards, 8.2 assists on 51% shooting, and his teams had a 3-2 record. And once again, comparing those stats to regular LeBron, Game 6 LeBron averages more points in the finals, more rebounds, more assists, on a better shooting percentage. And of course, you guys know the finals, it's the biggest stage where everything is magnified. And throughout LeBron's career, he's been called a choker and not a clutch player. So when looking at Game 6 LeBron, I want to look at his fourth quarter stats and see how clutch he was. And out of those 22 Game 6s, LeBron in the fourth quarters averages 9.3 points per game on 53% shooting, and in total, he had 186 points. Now very quickly, let's see where those numbers rank all time. When you look at fourth quarter scoring averages, for a player who played 20 plus games, Game 6 LeBron would rank 5th on that list, behind 03 Kobe, 97 Jordan, 06 LeBron, and 2011 Dirk. And when it comes to total fourth quarter scoring, once again, he ranks 5th, behind 06 Wade, 08 Kobe, 2000 Shaq, and once again, 2011 Dirk at the top of the mountain. So obviously in the big time clutch moments in the fourth quarters, Game 6 LeBron definitely shows up. Now one more thing I want to do is break it down by his teams, looking at his first stint in Cleveland, his time in Miami, his second stint in Cleveland, and his time with the Lakers. And we're looking at all 4 of these stat categories. Game 6 LeBron, once again, is highly impressive, and for all these teams, he's averaged over 27 points per game in Game 6s, and not once did he have a losing record for a team in Game 6s. And I think the most astounding stat for me is his time in Miami, where he averaged 30 points per game on insane 56% shooting, with once again a positive record of 4-2. And really the only black mark for Game 6 LeBron is his first stint in Cleveland, where he shot 43% of the field, which for that era actually isn't that bad, but for Game 6 LeBron standards is definitely below average. Now speaking of scoring, looking at Game 6 LeBron, in those games, he has 3 40-point games, scoring 46, 45, and 41. And also, he has 6 30-point games, including 13 double-doubles and 4 triple-doubles. And when looking at those 3 40-point games, in 2018, he had 46 points for the Celtics in Game 6 on 52% shooting. In the fourth quarter, he had 14 points, including a dagger over Tatum. In 2012, once again versus Boston, he had 45 points on 73% shooting, including 30 points in the first half. And that game for LeBron, you could argue, was the best game of his career given the context and the overall circumstances. Now also in 2016 in the finals, he had another big time game, scoring 41 points on 59% shooting with 17 points in the fourth quarter. And of course that Game 6 performance will lead into Game 7, where the Cavaliers win their first championship in franchise history. And we're looking at LeBron's overall playoff career, you can make a very strong argument. 2 of his Game 6 performances, that being in 2012 and 2016, were the 2 best playoff games of his entire career. Now, staying with the NBA Finals, I have another great LeBron Game 6 performance, that being in 2013 versus the San Antonio Spurs. In this game, LeBron had 32 points, 11 assists, and 10 boards on 42% shooting. Stats-wise, definitely a very impressive game. What makes it more impressive is the overall context of this game and how LeBron played in the clutch time moments. As in the fourth quarter, he had a game-high 16 points, outscoring his Heat team who had 14 combined. And in the last 23 seconds, the Heat overcame a 5-point deficit and advanced to a Game 7 versus the Spurs that they would eventually win. And the last Game 6 in the finals I have is Game 6 of the 2020 Finals versus the Miami Heat. In this game, LeBron had 28 points, 10 assists, and 14 boards on insane 65% shooting. In the fourth quarter, he had a game-high 9 points. And this game was pretty special for a couple of reasons, as LeBron in this game became the oldest player in finals history to have a triple-double, also won his 4th championship and his 4th finals MVP. And lastly, we have LeBron's first ever playoff series, that being 2006 in the first round versus the Washington Wizards. In this game 6, LeBron had 32 points, 7 assists, and 7 boards on 60% shooting. In this game in Washington went to overtime, where LeBron had a game-high 5 points. Near the end of this game, LeBron had a rare trash-talking moment to save the Cavs season.
And Cleveland still with a timeout remaining.
Now you have to be smart here now.
0.1 remaining. Arenas has had such a huge game, has played so well, and 2 misses right there.
Now there's a situation where you're sitting at home and you say, whatever you do, don't foul Arena.
Now in summary, we're looking at Game 6 LeBron. What does he not do well? He's a great scorer, a great passer, great rebounder, he has very good efficiency, he was a great defensive player, he was clutch, and he came through in the big-time games. I mean, from an overall perspective, Game 6 LeBron might be the perfect basketball player in NBA history, and there's very few, if any, flaws in his game. So with that being said, let me know your guys' thoughts. What do you think of Game 6 LeBron? Is he the best player of all time? Is he the best version of LeBron James? And in the future, will he have more great Game 6 performances with the LA Lakers? Let me know your guys' thoughts, and as always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.